Hi, I am Navin Chaitanya Mangala. I am here to present about the agriculture drone. Here are my contents. In the first slide, I am going to say about the introduction part, and the next one, overview of emerging technologies. In the next one, hype cycle, the graph, and followed by like advantages, risk factors, obstacles, opportunities, performance, and the references. Uh, In my first slide, I have shown some of the images of the agriculture drone because many of them don't know. So I would like to say about few things about this. See, actually, it is like an like flight, like helicopter or something like that. It has a wings and it carries a small camera, which it shoots the everything, the field. You know, this is about the agriculture drone. This is about the drone, and here is the introduction of the drone. These are the simply a low aerial camera platforms because, which means like it doesn't fly too high, it flies like around 10, not more than 10 feet, either miniature fixed wing planes or more commonly we can say that quadcopters and other multi-blade small helicopters. These aircrafts are equipped with an autopilot using GPS, it has GPS too, and a standard point and shoot camera controlled by the autopilot. Software on the ground can stitch aerial shots into a high resolution mosaic map, whereas a traditional radio controlled aircraft need to be flown by a pilot on the ground. But this drone is an autopilot, which is made by my company 3D Robotics. Does all the flying from auto takeoff to landing. Its software plans the flight path, aiming for maximum coverage of the vineyards and controls the camera to optimize the image just for a later analysis. This is my the introduction part, and here is the overview of emerging technologies. These are the list of right now emerging technologies, which contains the absolute most unmistakable progressing advances, and developments in different fields of advanced technology. Emerging technologies are those specialized developments which speaks to dynamic improvements inside of a field for competitive advancements. In the field of agriculture, like the emerging technologies can take the field to upper level. In any country, like many other countries like India or American or China, because agriculture is the main part of their country. So to improve that, they use some of the technologies like some drones, or there are future there are many more technologies to come. Here is this is my these are the my overview of emerging technologies, and here is my hype cycle. Actually drone is nothing but it's like a robot. It is a combination of both autonomous vehicle and a mobile robots. These are above which are 5 to 10 years to the plateau of productivity, but with higher inflated expectations. You can say that the autonomous are the higher in peak of inflated expectations and is still to come, followed by inevitable of disillusionment. Here are my advantages of the drone. The advent of drones is small. They are small in size, the portable and easy to use, which is due largely to remarkable advances in technology. And it has sensors, and we can it has a small GPS modules in, and it is a very powerful it has a very powerful processors and a range of digital radios. Drones can provide farmers with three types of detailed views. Firstly, seeing a crop from the air can reveal patterns. Secondly, view is about airborne cameras can take multispectral images. Finally, a drone can survey a crop every week, every day, or in a every hour. It depends on you. Like however you set the drone, it functions like that. So these drones can also be mounted by fertilizers and pesticides, which can be spread throughout the agricultural field. In this slide, I am going to say about the risk factors of the drone. As these fly at a very low height, there are certain situations like hitting to a birds or trees when the sensors are failed. The maintenance of the agriculture drone makes a common but bit complicated to handle because without knowing the knowledge or without like education people can handle this, the farmers cannot handle. So installing the equipment as per the agriculture field is also a risk factor. These drones are expensive as they build with high advanced sensors which makes them autopilot and self-navigated program. And the drones starts with a range of like $2,000, which are more expensive to the farmers. If a farmer if a farmer is trained to operate the drone, that would make a lot of difference in spite of its disadvantage. Here are the obstacles of the drones. The main obstacle by the drone is how to operate it because many of them don't know, they were a bit confused because it is unlike remote. In this case, to install the drone with the surrounding environment and agriculture field would be a great task to the operator. Drone is so light in weight that in heavy wind regions it is not well suggested to use this equipment. To get the finance for such for such emerging things, it is also not an easy because uh, giving it starts with the 2000 range. So many farmers don't take the first range because they want with more technology for their fields. So they keep on increasing the amount. So it is not an easy task to get the finance with that much amount. So I think that this is also one of the obstacles for the farmers. And here are some of the opportunities. The heavy labor cost in present days will provide a high chance to install these kind of system because nowadays we can see that there are the labor charge will increase day by day. So in future many of the farmers can use these kind of systems, and the advantage of viewing all the surroundings of the field within the desktop will also makes the farmer more comfortable in using them. In practice, it can also improve the health of the farmer by not getting any exposure to the pesticides because he cannot get into the field and he cannot no need of getting into the field and checking the fields. You can see the in the monitor which was captured images by the drone. And some of the performances here. Rain Kunde is a winemaker who has a perfect vineyard nestled in the Sonoma Valley north of San Francisco. Kunde is not a normal agriculturist. He is likewise an automotive administrator, and he is not the only one. He is a piece of vanguard of agriculturist. Vanguard is nothing but is a big mutual fund finance company who are utilizing what was once military avians innovation to develop better grapes utilizing pictures from the air, a piece of a more extensive pattern of utilizing sensors and mechanical autonomy to convey huge information to exact agriculture business here. So they were used these kind of the systems and they got much increment in the field. And here are some of my references which I have gone through many sites and used, and this is my presentation. Thank you for giving me opportunity to present like this. Thank you, professor.